And we are live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft podcast. This is episode number 39, and I'm joined by Abraham Khan. How's it going, sir?
It's definitely going. It is going. This whole month is stacked for me. I can't even talk about everything yet because they haven't put the graphics out. But there's a few things that I'm very excited for that I can talk about. Like this Saturday, in Maine is Vacation Land Pro Wrestling.
Are you talking about this show right here, right?
Yes,
There we
yes.
go.
So funny story about that. I wasn't on the poster like 2 months ago, and then when I got there, somebody had pulled out of the main event. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because there was like a snowstorm on the way
Yeah,
up, but we were already like 6 hours in by the time the snowstorm hit. So I was like, there's no way we can't turn around now
yeah.
because it's like an 8 to 9 hour drive. And so they gave me a mic, and I was like, okay. I pulled myself out of this multi-man match, and I put myself right in the main event. I faced Robert Ocean. Some of you may call him Bobby, but he's an adult, so we're gonna call him Robert. And we went one on one. I should have won that match. I didn't, but I definitely should have. And Bobby knows, Robert knows that I had his number, and I was this close to beating him. And I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know who's running the show anymore. The husband, the wife, the other guy with the penguin, but they know they know for some more money and properly being advertised, I would show up again. So Saturday you may see me. Let's see what happens.
Well, then here we go. We got someone in the chat already. Ben Castle throwing up a hashtag there.
Ah.
But I've seen you've thrown this hashtag around too. I was gonna get to that in a little bit, but before we get into it, can you tell me a little bit about that hashtag before we get into more of the podcast here?
Okay, so that's something from high school. I've known Ben Castle, who's really doing an amazing job in Titan right now. And Titan's one of those places that I looked at. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make my way there. They have like Anthony Gangone and a few other guys that like caught my attention, like or I watched growing up or studied before, And I was like, that's a place that I might wander into one of these days, but we'll see. The hashtag itself is it's abbreviated for Warzone Boys. That was something that me and a group of my friends in high school made up about because we were the wrestling fans. We were the wrestling kids in high school, and we knew all the teachers that like wrestling. We always talked about wrestling. Again, this is like pre WWE Network. This is pre YouTube, or like at the beginning of like YouTube blowing up. So, to meet other people that like wrestling still post Attitude Era, post Ruthless Aggression Era, people that have watched TNA or put other guys on. We traded DVDs, so we were like the wrestling guys. A lot of us chased the wrestling dream. People got hurt. People got married. People moved away. People felt like it wasn't for them anymore, and it's really just down to like myself and like two other guys, that are really still doing this and starting to make some noise. Brother Greatness is one of them. Uh, Ben Castle's the other one, and then there's me. So it's just like it's. I guess it's like everybody couldn't do it, so we're gonna do it. That's the kind. That's
Gotcha.
I always throw it up.
No, I like it because again, it still shows it's those humble beginnings. It's like, hey, this is where we started, and look where we're at now. Again, all of you are making your strides. Like Ben Castle's another one. I've been seeing a lot at Titan and seeing what he's done. I'm looking forward to seeing him on the 21st because he has a big matchup there. So that's gonna be fun to see.
He's crazy, that guy. He's like legit. He's like legit crazy. Like he's a really great human being. He's got a heart of gold. He's just nuts. He's just absolutely nuts. What he puts himself through physically, what he's willing to do to other people. You talk about respecting the craft. That guy, and Brother Greatness. Jesus Christ, those guys, like they really love this. And one day they'll have their, maybe they'll get the opportunity to be on this, and maybe they can tell you their story. I don't want to tell it for them, but these guys really love professional wrestling.
No, definitely, definitely. Again, Ben, as well. If you're still listening, if you're still here as well, we'll definitely be making that happen shortly. But again, you mentioned the title of the podcast here, Respect the Craft. Let's get into that famous question I ask everyone. Usually the first question, but hey, we're getting into this very fiery here.
Mhm.
The term the craft, when you hear that, What does that mean to you?
The craft of professional wrestling, to me means a lot of things. Growing up and when you're younger and you're more of a fan or the type of fan that maybe you and I were. And I don't want to speak on your behalf, but because we were talking a little bit before this, but to me it was the workers, the Bret Harts, the Mr. Perfects, Flair. I would say also because I used to watch a lot of Flair when I was young. You know, when I was younger, especially in high school, like I didn't know anybody else that knew about the Chi-Town Rumble, between Steamboat and Flair, but I knew about it. Because I was like, what the hell is so good about Ricky the Dragon Steamboat? I didn't understand. I mean, I like Macho Man more because I watched the match, but I didn't have the perspective. So that's what it used to mean to me, the workers. Over time, it's grown into people that know their stuff. And over time after that, it's grown into being more than just a good wrestler. You have to represent the company that you're working for in a professional manner. You have to also realize that you can't just be selfish and make it all about yourself, because wrestling is peaks and valleys. And you have your time on top, and then you have your time where you got to figure out what you're doing, or you got to go somewhere else or whatever. So you can't just make it all about you. When you respect the craft, you have to respect everybody else that walks in, whether it's pre-show or main event. And you have to treat them all with respect because guess what? One day that guy that you brushed off, he can be better than you. And it's not just like, oh, you should be careful and see how you talk to people. No, you should genuinely, because that's the way my father raised me. That's the way my mother raised me. You give everybody respect. Yeah, you can clown them and joke around with them and treat them like regular people, but there's a line. You don't have to tiptoe around certain people. You shouldn't have to do that. Oh man, there's the name. Oh man, there's that guy. He's on his way up. Well, he just did this. Opportunity comes for everybody. So when you respect the craft, you got to know your stuff. So please stop walking in and saying you're trained, or knowing somebody and getting in and then hurting somebody. You have to realize that some people do this for a living. Some people really take this very seriously. I understand you're enthusiastic as an individual. Not you. I hope you understand. Like I'm meaning generally.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You can be enthusiastic. You can love this, but you have to also remember that somebody else's life is in your hands.
No, definitely.
So
No.
to respect the craft is to be the part, live the part, train the part.
No, there you go.
That was a long-winded answer, but I'm very. This means a lot to me. All right, and
Yeah.
I thought about this. I was like, that was like the short version of my answer.
No, it works. And again, it's hitting those notes that again we spoke about even before we went live. And again, it's showing a lot into again you as a person as well. Your answer definitely reflects on how again that deep respect for this. Like again, I've seen your stuff. I've seen what you've posted around, and this was a reason I definitely wanted to have you on because I know again, not to just say the name of the podcast, but you definitely have that respect for this craft.
Oh,
it shows in your work. It reflects on who you are as a not only competitor but as a person.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I leave a lot of Easter eggs. I take the time to write stuff, and if you read it with the mind that this guy's saying some stuff to me, that's at the forefront of what's written, and if there's some stuff that I try to give more people that are looking for a little bit more, people that look for a deeper meaning, or look for Easter eggs, or try to pay attention that maybe this guy's saying a little bit more than just something about wrestling. There's something in there. And if you pay attention really closely, you'll probably catch it. And anything I post up most of the time, unless it's like music related, but whatever.
Well then, there you go. Again, keep your eyes open, people. Keep your eyes open. But let's keep it going here because I know this is a question a lot of people had. I know a lot of people in the chat right now are definitely looking forward to your answer here. So fresh off here, we were off this event right here, and welcome to New York City. Also, Women Crush Wednesday, and you kind of pulled something that again it's a little bit on the taboo side for Fallout and for Battle Club. You aligned yourself with almost the enemy in Mr. Martinez himself Federated. Which again, he's not my enemy. I respect
Hmm.
Mr. Martinez. I respect Federated. Again, if
We should. We
if
all
he wants
should.
to come on as well, he could definitely make his appearance. Again, I'm just neutral here. I'm just trying to say
Yeah.
what
Look at this guy.
their side of it is.
Yeah, somebody's
So,
like calling me Judas. I don't even know
oh,
who that is. Oh,
there we go. We got hey, he made his debut, his return to wrestling that night. So I can imagine he feels a little hurt because he thought again, you're part of the fallout. You've been there with the students and been training. So I can imagine they have that camaraderie, that brotherhood. So you aligning with Federated again, to them it's an enemy. To me, hey, I get it. It's a business acquisition. It's an alliance that again it helps you get to the next level. So I want to hear your answer. What convinced you to join Mr. Martinez and the group known as Federated?
so Federated is much older than myself, and there's great men, and I can't list all of them for you, but anybody with a brain could look it up.
Yep.
Federated is not the enemy of Battle Club, and I feel like that's a misconception by a bunch of bozos on the internet. What it is, though, is it is a part of Battle Club, and it wants to lead the way. That's all. That's all Federated said. At first I was also like, "Hey, man, rah rah, we're all fall out. We're all gonna do this together." And then I remembered, like, I know I've been in wrestling for a while, and I did the whole like, "Hey, I'm gonna rep this place. Hey, man, I'm gonna stick up for all these guys." And then I realized, oh no, there, it doesn't work that way. This is not soccer. This is not baseball. It's not a team sport. You know, it comes down to the individual. Yeah, I want everyone to prosper. I want to make money, and I want the money to trickle down, and everybody else gets their slice of the pie. But
Yep.
if there's an opportunity to be the marquee guy, if there's an opportunity to have your face plastered everywhere, and you're qualified for the job, it's one thing if it's like, well, I have aspirations, but no, I don't. I have more than aspirations. I have ambition. All right,
Oh,
and I feel like I am qualified for the job. I feel like I'm the guy. And Mr. Martinez also felt like I could be the guy. And he talked to me before the show, and he was like, "Hey, you saw what Mick Drake did. He walked in, and then Mike Law decided to appoint himself mayor of challenging for a championship." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever. I didn't think too much about it." I was like, "Yeah." And Mr. Martinez said, he might come out, at the Battle Club show. And again, I was just backstage. I was just going to do commentary. I was with Boss Man. I was with Joakim, and he was like, even though I lent my talents to commentary, which by the way I love to do. I've been trying to do that for so long, yet other places just never got to happen. Because I actually care about what's going on in the ring, and I also care about the individual competitors. Even this guy calling me Judas, even this guy, he came out. He's Scottish, and his partner's Puerto Rican, even though they both look like the opposite ethnicity. But whatever, who cares? Who's thinking about that stuff, you know? And he told me I'm still eligible. I'm still eligible if I want to take that opportunity to to challenge for that championship. And he actually came through. And he came out. And he's calling out the fallout. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And everybody, so you heard him. You heard the students. You heard everybody else. They backed me up. Mike Law's a great guy. And any locker room probably has the most integrity at any place, any given show, any given weekend, anywhere he goes. He's going to be on Dark probably right now. So if right after we're done, you should go out. You guys should go check it out. Right now, if I'm being honest, it wasn't his moment. He had his moments. Mike Law is a good human being. He has morals. He sticks up for the little guy. He's got a colossal personality, a colossal presence. No pun intended. But Mike Law, he taught me something. Probably the last thing he's ever going to teach me in that moment. And it was, you have to take your opportunities. And you got to be a little bit greedy. And good for him. He got to have that title match. But he shouldn't have been greedy he shouldn't have decided to be greedy on that day. Because it was my time. And everybody knew it was my time. In my hometown. Me getting to perform in Brooklyn after so long. Because I wrestle up and down the East Coast. I go to Florida. I go to West Virginia. I go all the way up to Maine. Who goes to Maine? Right? Who goes to Texas? Who does this? I do it. Now, wow, his opportunity. Everything. It's a magical moment. You get to stick up for your guys that you go in there with multiple times a week. You spend more time with these guys in the ring, perfecting what we do, than you do with your own family, with your own spouse or your loved ones. And here he comes. Hey, man, you're not ready. Are you? Are you?
Well then, so I have to ask: is that where this came from? Then, did you feel you were slighted from an opportunity that should have been yours?
I believe in Mike Law. I think he's great.
Yeah.
But Mr. Martinez told me if you can get the opportunity is yours if you can get past Mike Law's colossal ego. And what did he do? What did he do? He proved Mr. Martinez right. So right then and there, I knew I had that federated shirt on, but it still felt a little dirty. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know, man. The Fallout guys are cool, you know.
Yeah.
But then Mike Law in that moment, he made the decision for me, and he may have had it, maybe he didn't. Who knows? He probably would have came up short. Who knows? But right then and there, I knew what I had to do, and what I had to do. And these people were chanting, "Oh, you sold out!" No. I didn't sell out. I didn't sell. You know. So while the rest of these guys that show up to these shows, maybe they can invest in deodorant or something, but me, I invested in myself.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I am that guy, and I'm here. I want everybody to eat at my table. I want everyone to do well. I just want to be at the top, and everybody else can settle for whatever opportunities come out of me. Becoming who I'm supposed to be. Sorry about that. I got a little emotional.
Hey, again, I get it. I understand. Again, it's looking for that next best opportunity, and again, it works. Federated has proven it. Again, Mick Drake, current champion. Again, Federated has had guys like the Greek god Papadon, Casey Navarro is currently at the top, even with MLW. You got a list of champions that have come forth from Federated. It's understandable here. So, oh, there we go. Again, he's still clowning you here in the comments. He really didn't like your decision here.
Barbershop moment. Shame on you, sir. I don't even know. I don't even speak Ebonics, bro. I don't even know what this guy's saying to me. So, but thank you for being well informed. Thank you for being educated. See, I can go on and on about all the people that have paved the way for me. You know, but why do I have to do that? Why do I have to justify that I took myself seriously when most people don't even stick to their New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
But I got to tell you why. These are my actions. Because I care about myself. I want to be the best. I'm tired of trying to just be the best wrestler. I want to be the biggest star. I'm not being greedy. I'm caring about myself. And I'll come back for the rest of you guys. I'll get you guys opportunities. You know, you guys can earn them. I'm earning it. I'm hanging out with the champ. I'm hanging out with Mr. Martinez. Everywhere I go, everyone gets to know Federated. I'm spreading the word. Get to know more about Federated, and they'll learn a little bit more about Battle Club, and then maybe they'll discover some of the Fallout guys. Beef. Barbershops.
Well then, hey, here we go. We got more in the comments as well. Nicer comment here. We got Wes and Kyle in the chat. Wes says they saw you on the 23rd at Magic. So there you go. A nice comment here instead of the ambush by David Rivera in the chat. So.
Leave me alone, David.
But there you go. But again, I get it. Again, you have to do what's best for you. I can imagine Mr. Martinez is also enjoying your response here. But here we go. We got the boss man himself, Joakim, in the chat saying, Abe. Again, Joakim, I don't know if you liked his answer right now. So hope you heard.
Joakim is a businessman, right? And this is all, it's not personal. It's business. If Joakim was me, he'd probably do it too. Look at this. Untapped potential. But I'm one of the rare guys that tapped into his potential and did something about it. I didn't just tweet about it. I didn't just write long-winded crying Facebook comments waiting for attention and oh, why are you laugh reacting at me? No, I told you I care about this. I'm never going to let the world win. I take this seriously. I made the right choices for my future. I left places that gave me an issue with taking myself seriously. And going out there and trying to make a name for myself because I don't have to just survive. I want more. I have an appetite for success. I want more than what one place can give me. And Joakim knows that. He knows that. Look at him. He's a professional. Look at him. Look at that professional. What a professional response. Look at that. Abraham is gold. Great pick for Federated. Yeah, it's a great pick for Battle Club too, because I'm leading the way, buddy. And what's this? Team has a backbone. Yes, he does. He's a man of few words. He does have a spine because right after that show, he handed me a very hefty envelope. It did say Judas on it for some reason, but it might be a popular song. I'm still trying to find that out.
Hey, Ray.
Oh, can you hear
For
me?
some reason, I hear you. Yes, I can.
Okay,
I got
sorry
you.
about that.
It's okay.
I was gonna say, again, Joakim showing he has that unbiased side. He's able to say, you got everything, you got the goods, you got all that. He's a businessman for a reason.
Joakim knows that Abraham Khan is money. He knows. And look at him. He's a professional. Look at him. He looked at me. He was like, "Yo, this kid. Look at it. He wrote it right there. Abraham's gold, and I'm platinum."
I kind of want to make a little bit of a pun there because again, choosing to be with Federated, choosing to invest in yourself, you kind of controlled your own narrative in Battle Club.
Yes, finally somebody said it.
So,
Bro, the amount of heat that comes out of wearing one of these shirts, brother, gets me in trouble. But I decided a while ago I don't give a fuck because at the end of the day, I'm a star. And most of these guys crying aren't. And I'll tell you this. Whatever you read on the internet, whatever you see on social media, is all true. There you go. I'm not here to debunk anything because I don't care. Because at the end of the day, it's all about Abraham Khan becoming a star. A star outside of the tri-state area. That's the headline. That's what it's going to say. Abraham Khan is a star, Brooklyn born, but not just in the tri-state area.
Hey, that's what you want to see again. I think that's one of the biggest things when it comes to our craft. They usually tell you, get out of your home state, get out of that area, represent it, but make your name a success everywhere.
Yep.
And I can see it. You're trying to do that. You're doing that again, making the right choices. Again, pun intended there. You're controlling your narrative in professional wrestling.
So, I was controlling my narrative before it was even a catchphrase. I decided a long time ago that I wasn't going to let what anybody says define me, define my actions, and I wasn't going to let anybody else's words surmise my existence. I know who I am. It's everybody else's job to find out. But it's also up to me to make sure that what they see is the truth. And they don't just see a guy like, oh, slap a turban on the kid. He's got his money. No, that's antiquated. It's not me. You can put that on the next guy if that's all he can offer. I'm so multi-layered. I have things. I've known who I wanted to be in professional wrestling since I was 16 years old, and it's insane how much of it is naturally unfolding in front of me now. You know that hashtag right there, NLTWW. Never let the world win. That was advice I gave to one of my friends once because he was acting out of character over some drama. I said it to him, and it became one of my mantras on my T-shirt. But it's real. You can't. Why would you give in? So naturally, never let the world win. Naturally flowed into controlling your narrative. No. That's what it means to me. It's not whatever political agenda people want to throw on it, whatever hateful thing. You can make anything bad if you break it down. If you want to criticize anything, I can make an argument that people that have Joker as their Facebook default are terrible people. You know, doesn't stop them from doing it. I'm a big advocate of freedom of speech, even if it was used against me growing up. But it shouldn't be illegal to be an asshole, and it shouldn't be a big deal to say something. How you perceive it is up to you.
Yeah.
But you should be able to say what you want if you feel like it represents what you're trying to do. Is that fair? I feel like that's fair.
No, definitely, and I can agree with that sentiment there. So I have to ask you again. It's a mindset that I can think it comes easy to have. Because again, it's easy to let the world win. It's easy to let again, other people's opinions get to you. What got you to that mindset to be able to say, never let the world win?
I grew up a Pakistani kid post 9/11 in Brooklyn. That's what happened. It's that. I grew up. I loved superheroes a lot. I loved Indiana Jones. Whatever, pop culture was like everything to me. Like, I feel like pop culture also peaked like early 2000s, but that's just my personal opinion. But I grew up on these things, and these guys had iron wills, and they wouldn't break. You grow up and you watch guys like The Rock, and you have no idea what his ethnicity is, but he's brown and you're brown, and you're like, oh, he's probably what I am, and though he, at least on screen, as a child, you have these guys that have iron wills. They don't give up, and then you get older and you read things and you understand what it means to face adversity. Guys like Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Tyson, but he was different than Ali, but you know what I mean, at least I hope. So that's where that comes from. I got the crap kicked out of me for what happened in 9/11, and people threw sticks at my dad's car. Did some terrible things to me. But later on in life, those people became my friends. Because I woke up one day and all that happened. I think it was in the 3rd grade or something, and whoa, everybody I was riding bikes with is no longer nice to me. What the hell? But you can't let what people assume about you or perceive you as or want you to be actually box you into this little thing. They want to make you, this is what you are. This is what your existence is. You're just this. No. Like, hell no. And sometimes it means you got to eat like a shit sandwich for a little while, and you got to endure. Because people they try to bait you in. And it was a really good Jay-Z line that I'm going to butcher, but there's traps all over the place. They're going to try to bait you in, and they're going to try to bait you in. And I learned that at a young age because I hung out with a lot of older people. So you learn, oh, this is just bullshit. And if you argue with bullshit, you're going to get more bullshit. So that's why it's always super important to stay ambitious, just keep your head down, do the work, and never let the world win.
Got you. And again, I definitely like that mantra. I like that ideology because again, it's something that I feel like a lot of people sadly they don't follow. They get a lot of the hatred out there, and they let it just it reflects what they do. It just consumes. And again, it's sad because that's kind of what a lot of social media does as well. Like that's all you see nowadays is that negativity, and that will reflect what people want to do or what they want to perceive themselves as because this is what they said, so it has to be true. Like, there we go. See.
There's nothing in feeding the hate. Do you win? Let them hate themselves. Yep. Oh yeah, I've been doing that. That's why I don't respond to David Rivera.
That's my job. I just read his comment and we get an answer out of it.
Yeah, I'll see David Rivera whenever I see David Rivera.
There we go. You brought him up earlier. There's Brother Greatness. He says he was about to shoot you a text, and he saw this was happening.
Oh, he's one of them. He's one of the Warzone boys, bro. He held it down. He's like, I met him, and we would clash a lot when we were younger, but I also respected his mind for wrestling, and I like to think that it was mutual between him and I. And as time went on with Brother Greatness and I, he's grown into one of my best friends. Like I love that guy like he's my brother. I've known that guy for like probably 10 years now, and I love that guy. He's a good human being. And I can tell you how great of a wrestler he is, and I can tell you how hard he works, but everybody works hard. Everybody works hard. Everybody. Day 3 referees work hard. Like camera guys work hard. Everybody works hard. Nobody's hiring the lazy guy unless it's like a desperate situation, But he's a good human being that did not lose himself in this wrestling game. And you can see it on people's faces. The wear and tear and the exhaustion and the miles are on their face most of the time. But I don't want to make it corny and be like, you never let the world win. But he found his niche, and I'm so happy for his success. Shout out to him and all his wrestling open matches and all that craziness he's doing in Manchester. That guy's an animal.
No, definitely. Again, it's showing that it's putting the work in, putting the miles in. and finding what ends up working for you. So again, uh, shout out to him. But okay, sorry about that.
No, I just saw a comment, and I don't know if this is live. I'm assuming it is. It's a Facebook comment from is that from my boy? Yes, it is. Anthony Gamble. A lot of people wrote this dude off as soon as they saw him, and Anthony Gamble is pure heart, that kid, and he has every reason in the world to not continue to do this. He has every reason in the world to do something not better with his time, because I know he loves wrestling, and I love seeing him doing his thing and chasing his passions. But that guy is pure ambition, and any success he has is solely based on how much he put into this. Because he has every reason. I'm not going to get into his life, but he has every reason not to do this and just get a full-time job. But this guy loves this stuff, and he puts his soul into it. Talking about controlling your narrative, talking about never letting the world win. This kid's doing it since like 2019, early 2020. He's like, nah, I'm going to do this. And he went ahead and actually did it. Because people tell you all the time, I'm going to do this. Hey, man, I'm going to get on keto, bro. Like, no, he went and he did it. That's why I love and admire him so much as a human being. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that about him.
No, hey, it's great. There you go. There you go. Even Joe Keem putting him over there as well. Gamble, workhorse, Haas. There you go.
Yeah, that's great, Joe Keem. You should just stick to the Abraham comments. I like that stuff better.
Again, this is about Abraham here. This is his podcast right now.
What is this? I can say some nice things. That's it. You know what I mean?
Here we go. Let's steer back into that direction. And again, now let's talk about, again, you're wearing the shirt. We put the logo on the flyer. Let's talk a little bit about how did this come about with you joining Control Your Narrative?
Okay, so March of last year, I went to a seminar for EC. I had a match up there anyway. It was like a multi-man match to crown like a I think it was the Vacation Land Pro Wrestling Intercontinental Champion.
Okay.
And EC3 was doing a seminar, and they invited whoever was on the show. Like, hey, make up. You know how these seminars work. It's like, hey, pull up, whatever. And I'd been around a few names in my lifetime, but I'd never been around somebody that was just freshly out of the E. So I was like, okay, what do I got to do? So I got there super early. We got pamphlets. He gave us. I actually have it on my wall. The booklet that he gave us of how he wanted us to be warmed up already, and there weren't as many guys I think as he anticipated. And EC3, I guess he had a vision or potential vision for what he saw this could become, but he had all of us cut some promos on the fly. We didn't have any time to prepare, and then he paired us up to have matches, and I ended up wrestling Vinny Pacifico, who I'd wrestled like once before that, and we were like the only guys, Vinny and I were the only guys that didn't do like a crazy high spot. We had 5 minutes, and I was showing him what I can do, and I like to do the wrestles. I like, do a couple of cool holds, a couple of chin locks, a couple of headlock takeovers. Maybe you've seen a couple of them in your day. And he was like, kid, you're good. You just got to get big. And I've been really heavy for like most of my life. So this is probably the lightest I've ever been. I'm like, at that point, I was like lighter than I was in high school, So he's like, so I focused so long on getting small. Here he comes, now I can do all these like little fancy like athletic things. And he's like, you got to get big. And he liked my promo, and he told me to DM him. I was like, all right, well, I never thought of it again. Then he reached out to me later on, and he gave me like some really honest feedback about a promo that he saw that I posted. He started following me, and I was like, that's dope. Here it is. And then I pick his brain every now and then, and he had said to me, hey, if I were to ever, I forgot the words he used, but he made reference to like free the narrative too. He kind of sent out feelers, and I booked a ticket and I went, and I was like, I'm going to do it. And I, like, as you can see, like on commentary and stuff like that, I like to talk. So I guess he picked up on that, and he made me like the lead project of that day. And I was leading the other guys. And then right after that, I got like an in-ring moment with like then called Braun Strowman, now Adam Shear, who he's free now. He's using his name, is Adam Shear, and I got in there with him, and he chokeslammed me to hell like about 3 times, and you only see it once on video, but Jesus Christ, bro, the first chokeslam he like bust my lip open, but I wasn't gonna say shit. But yeah, that's what happened, and they filmed some matches of mine that I don't know if they're gonna get released or whatever's gonna happen with those matches. But the next day he messaged me about how professional I was because the way I handled the match and the way I handled my opponent, and I think we just became buddies after that, you know. And that was that's it. I don't know. That was a long-winded version of we are friends now.
So. I can imagine he saw again what a lot of people are seeing. He saw even what Joakim said earlier. You're gold. He saw something in you. It wasn't just oh, you know what? Hey, maybe I'll bring you out. It's like there was something there that again he saw that respect you have for this. He saw there's something in it that you're not just in it for the little things. It's like no, there's a lot more that goes into this for you, and that love for the business.
Yeah, and I agree with him on a lot of stuff, except he has a larger platform to say it, and it matters right now. I do agree with that stuff. I'm not saying that this move is bad or this, but excess. My father said this to me once when I was young, because excess is everything bad. Anything excessively done.
Yep.
And even in movies, how many action sequences can you watch? It's like, all right, because I don't know about you, but I didn't watch the last 2 Transformers. You know, I was like, Dark Side of the Moon, kiss my ass. You're just gonna bring back, whatever. Terrible example, but you understand what I mean.
No, I got it. Yeah.
And then you become a parody.
Yeah.
So I believe everything needs to be done with attention to detail. And when you do stuff like that, you get some really magical stuff. And look, everybody's not going to do it. That's fine. But that's what makes the guys that do special. Pay attention. You might see something. You might miss something. You don't know. I feel like you understand what I mean by that. I feel like you're an intelligent guy, and I got to learn a little bit about you right before we got to go on this. I was like, yo, you care. You care. And
no, again, we had that convo. We had the mindsets very similar mindsets again. And I can agree with you on that. That again, it's why I called this podcast Respect the Craft. Because it is having those details about the craft that I feel like it is that lost art. Yeah. It is a dying art because a lot of times it's all you see are certain things and it becomes truly a parody of what we love and a parody of what it was that got us into the business and got us into wanting to continue this and continue this journey that we put ourselves through. Because again, it is a painful one as well. There's a reason why, again, they say this isn't ballet.
Oh, yeah. Like, and I shared this with you like earlier. I'm a little bit banged up right now. I got a little banged up, and it's part of the game. So it's not anybody's fault. It comes with the game. So I went to the hospital, got out today, which is why we're starting so late. And I still got to get some more tests. They don't know if I have a tear or if I have a tear or something wrong with the disc, but I have to get some more tests done, and then I'll really know the severity of how badly I'm hurt. And I may not get to be at these shows that I have lined up, and I have a whole month. And again, I just want you guys to understand, I have a whole month, that I'm going to be all over the place. This starting with this weekend, Maine, next week, Control Your Narrative tour, where we're going to be in Detroit on Friday. Then we're going to be in Cleveland, Ohio on Friday. Saturdays is Detroit, Michigan. And I love Eminem, so I was like, I gotta find some sort of mural or something that I gotta we got Biggie stuff everywhere. They gotta have some M somewhere.
I think they have a restaurant that's legit called Mom Spaghetti in Detroit.
I heard it was a pop up, so I wasn't sure.
Because I saw Steve Scott was just there and he went to it, so I'll have to get that from him. So
thanks, man. I feel worse now. So that was something on my mind. I had something else planned that I can't talk about just yet, but there was another show, possibly that same weekend, that I can't release the details on yet. And then the following week, I was going to be in Vegas, and I'm going to Vegas for one of my friends' birthdays. But there's also a wrestling show that I got. They sent out some feelers. Well, I sent out some feelers first, and there was some potential opportunity there that we were working out, but now I have to go talk to them about my situation. So that was cool. Get to work in Vegas, and I've never been to Vegas.
Well, hopefully again
and
everything works out and you're able to still do that. Hopefully so.
I hope, man.
Here's hoping.
Yeah,
So,
and then as soon as I get back from Vegas, I would like to pull up to the Fallout shelter and not be interrupted by a bunch of guys berating me. Oh, why'd you do this? Oh, why'd you do that? Because I can. And you should do it too. I mean, not everybody's going to get the opportunity, because I think what Mr. Martinez is trying to show is he cares about Battle Club, but Federated knows better and they're going to lead the way. And not everybody gets to be Federated, because we're not handing out trophies to everybody. You earn your stuff. And if you got a little something, you got something magical about you, you might get a Federated t-shirt, maybe get some certified parking. I don't know. I don't make the rules. But I can tell you that maybe some of you guys could use the benefits from Federated. We have dental. Huh? You know how important that is?
I'm gonna have to talk to Mr. Martinez. I got the red hair already. I fit in. Like,
no, man, somebody get this man a t-shirt. Mr. Martinez, I'll talk to him.
I put him over on this podcast a couple times. We got to do some business. But again, there's that word. Again, they're really fans of Chris Jericho's song, aren't they?
Yeah. It's a bop, I think. You know, especially for like the Scottish guy and the Puerto Rican guy. You would never imagine that the Puerto Rican guy would bop to metal like that, but here he is. He's doing his thing. And what's this?
No, here we go. We got someone saying they're proud of you there. We got Alphonse Stevens, my commentary partner at Project Codename Wrestling. He's very proud of you.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I heard his voice. I was watching some clips of them actually on the drive back from the hospital. So I was like, I saw some stuff with Zoltan, and I was like, oh, what's going on over here?
We got to call that. That was a very intense situation there. So we're still seeing how that plays out.
Yeah, I pay very close attention. I like watching wrestling. It's hard to watch new stuff on TV for me, but I like to watch like the local game, and I like to watch what everybody else is doing because I like wrestling. I like what everybody has to offer, and there's particular guys I like to watch because I expect, or maybe I predict, or maybe I'm willing it for sure, whatever you believe in, that I will be standing across from them at some point.
Okay, so you say that.
Your opponent. That's also part of respecting the craft. That's also part of it. Studying the game, knowing the game.
So let's throw that out there. Who are some names, again, if you're able to share, that you would want to stand toe-to-toe with? You mentioned a name earlier, and that happens to be one of my best friends right there. How about Anthony Gangone? Would that be a guy that you would want to step in?
I think Anthony Gangone is one of those guys that people will appreciate his artistry and his attention to detail after he's gone. I think he's that good. And I watched him when I was young a lot. So I watched like a lot of his holds, those matches that he would have at those WOW tapings. I watched a lot of his stuff, his transitional work. I was like, oh, he's like, and everything he did was clean, you know, and I would love to mix it up with Anthony Gangone. I want another crack at Darius Carter, who there was a match on the table that was taken away from me. And I really want, not now, but like within this year, I'd like to mix it up with Darius Carter. I adore the man's work. I adore his professionalism. He's a locker room leader, and he leads by example. But I want to beat him. Dominic De Niro is somebody that I want to face. There's guys that because I grew up on that Ring of Honor stuff. I studied it a lot, but I've already gotten to face Austin Aries, who is an incredible professional wrestler. Wow. Holy crap.
Yeah, when I saw that again, sorry to cut you off, that to me was like, that's amazing right there. Because again, that is still to me one of my favorite wrestlers out there is Austin Aries. And seeing that opportunity, that was great.
He's great. He called me out. I was like, cool, let's do it. Let's go. You know, the high school kid in me, I was like, you know, and I had just come back from like COVID and then pneumonia, so I wasn't at my best. But I Austin Aries has given me a lot of good advice. Anytime, I want to tell you guys a story. Is that okay? Can I tell a story?
Yeah.
One of the most gangster things, Mania weekend, right? Austin Aries comes up to me, goes, it was an after party. And he comes up to me. We're outside in the streets, just me and him somehow. And he looks over at me. Hey, what are you working on? I was like, what do you mean? Like, what are you working on now? I told him, so keep a few things that I'm working on to perfect my game. He goes, nah, fuck all that. You're already good. Just get jacked. Right after he says that, he puts his fedora on, turns around, and his Uber's just there magically. Gone. So gangster. It's like, all right.
That's a movie moment right there.
Yeah, Austin Aries is the man. Yeah, he's top 5 Ring of Honor.
Yep.
Top 5 OGs. I put him up there. You know, I'd love to mix it up with him again. You can learn a lot from a guy that's that good in the ring, and he's done it at the highest level.
No, definitely. And again, that still to me is one of the, because I love that style, that technical style, and he's definitely one of those guys. I still say one of the best to do it today.
Oh,
best technical wrestlers out there.
Yes, I definitely agree with you.
Same.
Another guy that I'd like to face, he's out of the Fallout shelter. Kerr.
There we go. He's putting you over here too, and you guys want to wrestle. So
yeah, Abe's certainly one of my favorite minds for wrestling. Yeah, I like him too. He's pretty cool. You know, there's like, I have family that's from that part of the world. Well, not his partner's part of the world. His partner's the Scottish one. He's the Puerto Rican one. But you understand what I mean. You know, these guys, I've always wanted to beat up a redcoat. I've never gotten to do it though. So this is gonna be kind of cool, huh? The British are coming. No, they're not. They're tapping out. But I think that's my long-term plan. I want to mix it up with him as well. There's a lot of guys, man. It depends. I have so many like pockets in my mind. Like, if we go here, we do this. If we go here, we would do that. I got a really nice opportunity over Mania weekend, and I wanted to tell you this on this. And once the show was rolling, Mr. Ken Anderson, he was a huge influence on me when I was young. Huge. When I was in high school, I thought this guy was going to be the Rock, to the new Rock, to Cena's Austin. My brother, my cousins, we all loved him and thought he was great. We had the action figure, all that cool stuff. And he was the first like potential big main event guy. And I feel like you can understand because you watch wrestling just as long as I have. So you know, like certain main event guys had a feel to them. They worked a particular way. You know, a lot of strikes, a lot of brawling, holds in the beginning. You know, like they worked a very particular wrestling style. And Anderson was like be at that level that threw like kicks and spin kicks and like shining wizards and whatever. And I was like, wow. Like, oh, okay, I guess we can do that now. So in a much better articulated manner, I went up to him Mania weekend and I talked to him and I told him like how much he meant to a younger me and how much he was an influence on my in-ring stuff. And this goes back to like the Ludus when I would like throw like kicks or whatever. And this is before everybody wore kick pads, but I said that to him and he thanked me. And it was a really nice moment. We had a longer conversation than that. And then he actually asked me to take a photo together. And I didn't post it because I don't know, I was like, what am I going to say? Took a picture of Ken Anderson. You know, you don't have to do that. But it was a special, I have it in my phone, but it was a very special moment for me because he meant the world to like my siblings and I. You know, like we loved Mr. Kennedy. We were poor. We grew up very poor. And I shouldn't say poor. It was difficult. It was hard times.
Yeah.
You know, it was hard times. And we know the value of a dollar. But you know, being kids that have SmackDown on only, Mr. Kennedy was a big deal. So that was a really cool thing. I know they say not to meet your heroes, but it was really nice that he was a very cool dude. So that's my small story about Ken Anderson, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Anderson. It was dope.
And again, it's shown that again your road is taking you to those opportunities like that. Again,
yes.
You're getting to meet someone that's impacted your career so much and impacted again your, even as a fan, what impacted your viewership. Like it got you that emotion there. And that's amazing to hear again, the opportunities that you had, it led you to that being able to happen. Getting to have that, getting to wrestle Austin Aries, getting to be a part of a company like this, it's showing the hard work does pay off. Like it's
so cliche now, but it's true. Nothing outdoes hard work. You have to earn everything. You have to.
No, that's why I say it like that, because I used to say a lot, oh, this person deserves that. It's like, no, that phrase, it devalues your road. Saying you've earned something is a lot better than saying, oh, that person deserved this. Like,
I 100% agree with you. When you feel you deserve something, and it's okay to feel that way. We're all human. Hey, I mowed my lawn. I deserve to have a good lawn. Yeah. But you made it happen. You didn't wait for the neighbor to cut your lawn. You have to earn it because nobody can take it away from you then. Or they're going to have to kill you to take something away from you then. You earn it. It's permanent. Anything else is a favor. It's temporary. And it's a sword hanging over your head for the rest of your life. You have to earn it. You have to earn everything. The body,
we lost you there, brother. No audio. Oh. Hold on, what's happening? Let's give us 1 sec, guys. We kind of lost. Can I hear you now? Nope, still can't hear you. Uh-oh. Hold on. What's happening here? So sorry, guys. Just give us 1 sec because unfortunately the audio does not want to work now. I can't hear him. What happened here? Hold on 1 second. Let's give us 1 sec, guys. So sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Gotta love it. This is the best part about being live. Sorry about that, guys. Again, till Abraham comes back, go check him out on Instagram right here, Abraham_ConPro. Go follow him on Twitter at right here. You got the TPC Abraham. Go follow. Make sure you're checking everything out here. And here we go. Let's see. And now we can hear you.
I cannot believe that somebody said does Federated have tech support?
See, and now Joakim was being nice the whole time. Now he says that. There we go. Oh, wait, I think it's the headphones because now I can't hear you. Maybe put the headphone back in. And we lost him. Oh, I feel like he might need to keep his headphone in because we lost all. That's it is. There you go. They switched from dental to no tech. But here we go. It was a legit question. It was a legit question. Okay. Let's see. And we can hear you now. Keep the headphone in because I think that's what makes it work. I'm so sorry about that. But they're really going at it here about your technical issues.
Jesus Christ.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Can you imagine this? The amount of people hating on you every day? That's nuts.
Hey, again, but that's why you live the mantra you do. You're not letting the world win.
Yeah.
You're choosing your narrative here. You're doing what you want
exactly. To do. I decided who I wanted to be a long time ago, and I decided what I was going to let affect me and not affect me a long time ago. So it was natural for me. I know like people like to make CYN into something else. It's not. I mean, if you go to any of their shows, all the talent is people of color, myself, people of different ethnic backgrounds, sexual backgrounds, sexual orientations that are like quote unquote just. Again, I hate even addressing this, but the only guys that are white are like a few of the name, just pure white, and even then, like most of them are mixed anyway. No. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't matter. You can hear me, right, Ray?
Yeah. Now I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, like it shouldn't matter. You know, I like to take the conversation away from there. It shouldn't matter what your ethnicity. Representation is important. You realize that, but it should not dictate how the opportunities that you get. You should still be good for the position. You should be good. You shouldn't just be shooting. Oh, we need this guy for this ethnicity. We need to fulfill this prerequisite. Here we go. You also have to be. You have to earn the job. You still have to be good at the job. I don't care what ethnicity my doctor is. Did he go to medical school? Is he qualified for this? You know.
No. So I have to ask you again, because it's an honest question here when it comes to that. When you hear these things, because again, a lot of people like to throw that hate toward CYN, and they like to make their own opinions, not knowing the actual thing of it all.
Yeah.
When you hear that, what does that do for you as, again, a part of the roster there, a part of that movement?
It's frustrating because as a talent, you kill for an opportunity like this.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh man, this could be a big break. This could be open a lot of doors for you. And it gets frustrating because it's like, I wrestled Austin Aries, and all anybody can talk about is, why is Austin Aries wrestling? And I understand people have gripes or whatever, and that's you as an individual. But here I am. Here's this guy that he's wrestling, and this guy works really hard to get this opportunity. You know, there's still a whole show that was put together. Mm. There's still guys that are getting paid. There's still a bunch of guys that on the undercard in the main event. I understand. I was once one of those people too, but there's so much more that goes into it. I don't know, you know, and it's not, I don't want to make it just about him. I don't want to make it just about race and fulfill. Like, there's a lot of creative people that are legitimately trying to give you an alternative there. Mm. Like JC, the narrator, you know, that guy has a really, really interesting view on things. Like Cross, and I got to talk to him. I didn't even talk to him about wrestling. I talked to him about philosophy, because we're into like certain philosophy. Both of us are just into them, you know, and certain guys, we were just talking about it. You know, there's good people behind there, and they're legitimately trying to give you an alternative. It's just really solid wrestling, and with like a Lucha Underground format. And I feel like you're going to start seeing that unfold in time, because there's stories that are being told. There's guys from North Carolina that truck all the way down to Florida or Texas, and there's like Taylor X. He's great. There's this guy Cowboy, like, he's so entertaining. He just talks. I don't even know what he's talking about half the time, but he's funny. Yeah. You know?
No, and that's why I asked, because again, as someone that I've been interested in Control Your Narrative and seeing what it is, but I also see, again, people that I feel like haven't even watched it or given it that chance. It's just the immediate, this has to be this. It's this kind of, and they put out that propaganda. It's like, have you seen the actual product yet? Because I feel like that's also, it identifies this type of generation of, that's what they do on social media. No matter what product it is, there's a driven just outlet of like, this is what it is, that's it, without giving it a chance.
And I feel like EC3 really went out of his way to try to address all these things, and it just falls on deaf ears. He didn't have to do that, but he did it, you know. And I felt bad for the guy. Some of these things, like I think it was the Reddit thing, was so embarrassing. I was like, it's like, yo, the guy is legitimately just putting himself out there just to clear up any misconceptions. But people already made their mind up, you know. And you can't control people's perceptions. You can't control how people take in information. They see things how they see it, and I hope that over time, you know, God willing, everything goes the way that him, the narrator, Adam, and all the other guys that are behind this creatively let everything out, and maybe the work could speak for itself. You know, there's a lot of guys putting a lot of work in, you know, because we believe in it. And again, we're all talent. We're all wrestlers trying to make it in the game, trying to carve out our own niche, you know. You don't have to. You can't. Not everything isn't black and white. Everything isn't like good or bad. There's a lot of gray there. I mean, you got to critically look at stuff, and you'll realize like there's some good, cool stuff there. You know, like Vinny Pacifico getting chucked out of a building because he hit a super kick on me, and you know EC3 said we're gonna throw him in the trash, and they threw him in the trash. Crazy. It's crazy stuff.
Oh man, again, it told a story, and that's what I like, because again, it's having the different elements that we love about professional wrestling all in that underground like grudge type vibe. It's a great image. It's great visuals. But again, maybe one day someone will again let that work show and then give their actual opinion instead of just nope, this is what I have to this is the preconceived notion already. It's like but again, more into the positive here. Now we talked about competitors you would like to face. We talked about places you are working, some places that you will be working eventually. What are some places you would like to have your impact on? What are some places you're trying to control your narrative and get to as far as independent wrestling?
I really, it's a good question. And I don't know how much of it I want to tell right now. I really wanted to work Magic, and I was really fortunate that I got to work them. And that's why I worked them hurt, because I really wanted to work on Magic. I think Wrestling Open is a huge opportunity. I think Limitless is a humongous opportunity that I would like to touch on. I would like to visit the UK before it's all said and done. I always wanted to be in Ring of Honor when I was younger, because I felt like that was like where you really became something before you ascended. But I'm really on this road to see where it takes me. I have no expectations. I walked into this a few years ago because I saw my cousin, who's, and I told you about this earlier. You know, he's an MMA fighter, and his father raised him to be a pro wrestler, and he chose MMA, and he knocked somebody out in like 2019. It's something my brain clicked. I was like, I got to do this wrestling stuff, and because one reason or another, you know, my father got sick. I had to step up, my brother and I could not do wrestling, college, and work and pay for everything. So I put wrestling on the back burner, and then I kind of just let it be. But when he knocked that dude out, something my brain clicked. I was like, no, I'm meant to do something in this life. And it's a hard schedule, I have a very tight schedule, and it doesn't give me much room for a life or to see my friends. So I'm in it. Even getting this far has been a blessing, you know. So if I to give you more of a direct answer, I think I'm going to keep the rest of the list to myself for now.
Okay. Hey, and that works. That works. You know, the perfect thing about that answer, though, is that kind of answers my last question. Because I hear where you're going with your answer, and I hear it's perfect of what the end goal is for you.
Yeah.
And it worked out perfectly because it kind of answers both there. And again, that's why I truly like your mindset and why I wanted this conversation to happen, because I can see a lot of that hunger there. I can see that passion for this business and for, again, the craft here. No pun intended for the podcast. So I definitely am glad we were able to have this conversation. I'm looking forward to see what you do in the future and what you do going forward in the business. So thank you again for coming on.
Dude, you're the man. I really appreciate, and I'm just tag me whenever you have another episode coming out. I'd love to share it, because you're one of the few guys that actually cares, and you understand it from a different level. And I like intelligent people, generally speaking. But I like people that again, I don't want to make it corny, but for lack of a better term, respect the craft. And there's not too many people. A lot of guys are clout chasers. A lot of guys are just hopping on the bandwagon. A lot of guys are just saying magic buzzwords. You did not strike me like that once. You care. So I'd love to come back. I'd love to know Battle Club Pro. I would say left. No.
Yeah, Joakim's not a fan that you didn't mention BCP there. He wants to know about.
Well,
I'm leading at Battle Club.
I'm leading BCP in Federated. I'm carrying BCP on my back. You listen to my theme song. I even said it. I looked that man dead in his eyes, and I said, "I'm going to carry this place."
Joakim also, I gave him the question was where he wants to make his mark that he hasn't been at either.
Yes,
so he's still part of Battle Club. He's still.
I'm going to end it on this note. This note. When this thing is all said and done, there's going to be only one Abraham Khan. There's going to be nobody else like me. Before or after. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to be that. I want to be in that conversation of New York. Like, I'm talking boroughs. I'm not from like Westchester. I'm talking like you're from the boroughs, you know? And he made it on a really high level. He left his impact on the game. He wasn't a rat bastard. He tried to do right by people. And he's the first mind you think of when you hear Battle Club Pro, Fallout, and Federated.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. Joakim, I hope that suffices your answer as well. So again, guys, go follow Abraham on Instagram right there, Abraham_pro. Go follow him on Twitter.
Yeah,
Can you tell us a
Abraham,
little bit before we let you go? What is the TPC before we let you go here in your Twitter handle? If you're able to tell us.
I can. Do I want to? I'm gonna let people speculate a little bit.
There you go. So,
Anybody wants to like shout it out? Like I've heard some really funny ones.
Yeah.
I've heard some really funny ones. I'll leave it up to. It was a nickname I had, but
Okay.
I'll leave it up to some of the people to assume what it means. All right.
Well, we got a blessing hands there, so there you go. Joakim, fan
Joakim
answer.
Joakim is a really good person, and Joakim Battle Club, and especially Federated, push the hell out of their talent. It's a crazy concept. It's a crazy concept. I've never been this advertised in my life. Can you imagine that? Advertising your talent. Bonkers. Oh, wish you all the success. It's almost like the money's going to trickle down. It's kind of almost makes sense to do.
Again,
Bananas.
a lost art in this business, sadly. There you go. Ben Castle giving you the winky. So I guess he knows what the nickname is. He knows what that is.
Perhaps.
So, but on that note, Abraham, thank you so much for coming on again. Guys, as always, this has been Respect the Craft. Definitely go check out Abraham. Go support him. Follow the podcast. Share the podcast. And we'll see you guys on the next one. As always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, and respect the craft. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.